door for you so no one will hear you in here. Great. Thank you so much for your help.
Thank you. Well, my topic, I'm writing a paper on college education, if it is worth it, if it's still worth it. Well, some scholars and professors are claiming that it might not, going to college or getting an education might not be beneficial to everyone on this topic. I disagree with them, and I want to emphasize on all the benefits of going to college and getting an education. The first place I look for information is Google. I have tried other search engines like Firefox, Mozilla Firefox, and also I forgot that one, but it's internet. But anyway, for the most part, I rely on Google. Well, I began the research process by, of course, typing the subject. For example, is college still worth it? So I type, is college still worth it? And I click on enter to see if there is any publication, especially the reliable sources like CNN, Huffington Post, or any reliable source on Google. So for example, I find right now there is Huffington Post publication, which is saying, it's a question too, is college still worth it? Let me go and click on it. It's a blog published in 2015, which is a good thing that I like about this engine. It gives you the updates, it gives you the new publications. Okay, so this is how I do it. I read blog. And I go through it and see if there is any like great point in his publication. For example, for this paragraph here, it says, it is for this reason the very real problem of cost and debt that more and more we're seeing articles like the one published in Business Insider a few years ago that claimed to illustrate why the diminishing financial returns of a college education and its mounting costs prove that a four-year degree just doesn't have the kind of currency it is used to. Because students they end up with that, so that might not be a good way for them to go along and take a student loan and end up paying the debt at the end. So these are opposing points that are to what I actually am intending to do in my article. The second point, whether it is that column, the one in read source, which dismiss college because not only it is too expensive, but knowledge is now at your fingertips via the internet, or the one in a recent LA Weekly, which warns that even if you manage to graduate unburdened, you will still need a starting salary of $85,000 a year to live in LA. Which these are opposing points. That I might face, which is great since I am writing that college still worth it, if somebody is coming to negate my claims, he will focus on these facts to negate my claims. So for me, I will take these in consideration as well. So how I do it? For the search terms, okay, I'll see. Start with I began the research process, as I said, by typing the subject topic and looking for reliable sources like CNN, the Washington Post, or New York Times publications, or if somebody, a professor from university, published his research on this topic or something like this. I choose this link because, well, I choose the link when I find valuable information on that link. Like I find, all right, there is, like interesting title that is related to my topic. So I just click on it and use that link for, to get information that might be valuable to me. I will save this source because I need a reference. Of course, if I need to go back to it to, I guess, read more, the rest of the article, if there is any opposing point that I didn't consider or anything, and save it as a reference because I will have to mention it that I got this information from this source. So I keep up with the information I locate by, well, saving it in my like certain files that I create in my laptop. And for example, I name it like College Still Worth It, and I put all the publications there. That's how I keep up with the information, so I can go back to it. I know what it is. And I also paste. Sometimes for example, I copy and paste that exact statement that I have so I can remember. And of course, I add the source next to it so I can remember this is exactly how it was at first, even if I do have to paraphrase it to paraphrase it in my article. I do have sometimes to keep it so I can have the exact, like the whole paragraph if I need to go back to it for further verification or for further, if I need more to understand if he mentioned or she mentioned or something else that I didn't consider. Anyway, for further uses, I keep up with my sources by how I keep up with them. My sources, as I said, I create files where I save them so I can keep all the informations where I organized so I can go back to it when it's needed. And that's all. That's how I keep up with my sources. So sometimes I change my search terms. Yes, if it's hard for me to find any information. For example, instead of saying college is worth it and see if somebody is saying the same thing, I probably say, do you think college is worth it? Probably someone might say yes, somebody will say no. So I can have both opinions. Or maybe sometimes I put like college in 2016 and find information about, for in 2016, if there is anyone who's talking about college, whether any kind of topic that might be related to college. Maybe college debt, maybe college help me to succeed. I put a lot of, for example, college made me healthier, going to college made me happier. So I can get stories and more articles about, for example, I do have an outline for my search. For example, I put, okay, the first point I'm going to talk about, yes, this is, for example, college has contributed to the well-being of a lot of college graduates. So I will go and see, okay, if there is any real stories, if there is any numbers like statistics that prove that. And I go to second point. I have, for example, that college graduates make more money. So I go and look if there is any real statistics that actually prove that. So that's how I do organize my points, my claims. This is what I want to talk about, and just go through them one at a time and look for each title individually so I can get more data. The next place it's library, of course. The university's library do have an online access to it. So I do sometimes look in the university website and type if there is any book that has been published on the topic. That's also what I do in addition to Google, using Google. Okay.